Good afternoon, and welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to our Sky Factory 3 modded Minecraft Let's Play series. So, I'm going to go ahead and say there's a lot of work that's been done. So, I want to go ahead and tell you guys, of course, originally, today was supposed to be a Wither episode. Actually, yesterday was supposed to be a Wither episode, but I do apologize. Yesterday, the server went down for a while. Stalker kind of broke it. He put something into a stone barrel that wasn't supposed to be there, and there's mob spawning, actually, because I had to steal... I think he took the mega torch that was over here whenever he logged off to let the XP farm run. Then I needed a mega torch to put it back because I was building. I didn't want mob spawning, and yeah. So I had to steal his mega torch, and now there's mobs everywhere. But anyways, there is an XP farm built there now. Or not an XP farm, but a mob farm. With stuff being produced and all that. XP, we're good on XP. I'll go over that in just a second. But basically, it was my fault. The server was messed up, and Sheridan was trying to fix it yesterday, so I was like, well, you know, Sheridan and I were supposed to be recording some Qantas, and he wasn't able to, because he was working on that, and so I was like, okay, well, I don't have anything to do on Qantas right this second, and I can't get on Sky Factory because it's down, so I was like, well, I'll just take a nap. And so I set an alarm, and I didn't quite wake up in time to get up, because we were supposed to do the Wither today. I'm going to move this, because I got mobs spawning back there. This is not good. So let's, there we go. So anyways, it was my fault. I do apologize. So anyways, I figured I'd go ahead and put out an episode for you guys, and then tonight we're supposed to do the Wither. So, I do apologize that had to be pushed back. But, chickens, we have, like, lots of chickens now. Both these sides are field, and they did, in the most recent update, they added a couple new breeds of chickens. So, we're going to have to expand the setup or do something to adjust it. We have, we have Manulin, we have Yellorium, we have Plutonium, Cyanite, all these different chickens now. And... I did start working in here a lot, trying to get some of this this deck actually built out and everything. I think it's coming along well. I may have to shift this door. I may end up having 3 doors, like one in the middle and one on each side. Because if we were to expand it, it would have to come out all the way to there. So, just a heads up. So anyways, today we're going to begin working on power a little bit. And the way it may work out, because I think this is going to be 2 episodes covering this. So I think what we'll end up doing is probably do this episode, and then we'll kill the Wither tonight. So the next episode will be Wither killing, and then we'll finish up the power. So hopefully that doesn't bother you guys. But it's kind of, setting up the power is kind of a 2-step process. So, but we're going to get into a fairly newer mod for our power generation. At least in the second part. This first part is going to be Ender IO stuff. So, anyways, let's go ahead and jump into it. The first thing that I'm going to want is I'm going to want a decent number of stone barrels, which are not crafted that way. They're crafted like this. But I'm going to want a few of these. Actually, we've got a few right here. Let's go with, we're going to go with 10 of these. And let's go ahead and get ourselves just some fluid conduits. And actually, since we can, I think we're going to go with Ender fluid conduits. I'm going to let that quartz build up. Now, we're also going to want to get ourselves some item conduits. That should be plenty, I think. And then we're also going to want... Do I want to use an Ender chest? Alright, so actually what we're going to do is we're just going to run our cabling down the ship behind the chickens. Because we need to get this ran across anyway. So that we have it kind of... the whole ship covered. And I actually adjusted the back end shape of the ship right now. It's all cobblestone for the time being until I get sorted. But we've got to figure out what we want to do with the added chickens. And so I wanted to set power up. We may just extend the back end of the ship. I think that would be okay. We'll have to figure it out because they added a bunch of new chickens. Basically, my original count is now increased by 13. So... And I'm fairly certain that my original count was correct. So, we'll just run this cable out. I think like right here should be fine. Then we're going to hook up an exporter and a mini chest. So let's get I like the mini chests just because they only hold a stack of items. So we'll set up our mini chest like right here, and let's just attach an exporter onto it. Just like that. We're going to say that you can export magma blocks. So now it knows how to craft them, and it's going to export them until there's a full stack in here, which is great. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set up some stone barrels, and for right now, we're just going to do something like that. I may adjust the layout of this once we get the actual floor down, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And then what I want to do, did I not bring my... Oh, I need to set up the exporter with the crafting upgrade before I forget. And then what I want to do is I want to attach item conduits onto this. And we're going to say that you can insert, because basically we're going to insert those magma blocks. Just like that. And we'll say that you can extract. And then what we need to do is we need to supply this with water. So let me go get a couple things. I've got ender fluid conduits made. Just don't have them on me. That's fine. But we're going to use ender fluid conduits because, of course, those can be filtered as to what to insert and extract. And we're also going to want to get ourselves a reservoir from Ender.io. So we'll go ahead and grab that. There we go. And then we're also going to need some water, of course, for that reservoir. And, oh, I forgot my fluid conduits. Let me grab those. And what we'll do is we'll set up our reservoir, I think right here for now. That'll be fine. And let me go get one more bucket of water. And we'll go ahead and throw that in there. So now we have water. Good stuff. And let me grab a bucket for filtering. And then what we'll do is we'll just run this conduit across these barrels. And we're going to say that you can insert fluids, but only water. And then we'll go ahead and say that this can extract, always active, and you'll notice that water starts filling up these stone barrels. So that's great. And realistically, we probably don't need this many stone barrels. But, okay. It don't matter. We want lots of them. So, anyways, now that that's going, these are filled with water. And then what we can do... Okay, for some reason these stone barrels are not cooperating. So we may have to change from the stone barrels to maybe a wooden barrel or something like that. So I'm not worried about that. Let me go try to make wooden ones. Okay, moment of truth. We'll put it right here. Yeah, that doesn't work either. How bizarre. Alright, so instead, what we're going to do is... Let's set up just a little farm here for potatoes. This is a temporary location. We'll end up moving it. We haven't really given any thought, I don't guess, to where we're going to have, you know, like the other farms. We've got our one crop set up there, but I don't know if we're going to go left, right, back, forward. So for right now, we're just going to set up a farmer right here. And this can be just our temporary potato spot. And we'll go ahead and give this some potatoes. And then I need to give this power as well. So let me see. Where do I want to hook into? Alright, I think we're just going to use a wireless RF transmitter from Extra Utilities. We have a wireless RF battery. So we can just set this down right here. And you'll notice that it starts giving power to this. It's not the fastest in the world. Power infrastructure is coming up on our to-do list. I promise you. Yeah, we've got a basic. Let me upgrade that. So we'll do... We've got a vibrant, so we'll switch it for a vibrant capacitor bank. And basically you just have one of these wireless RF batteries. And they'll transmit the power. Because I guess we're going to be making fire water the old way, the old-fashioned way. It's building up a bit more power. It is going to have to use a lot of power to start, just because it's got a plant and hoe and everything like that. And I'll probably move a growth crystal over here as well to speed it up. But this will be fine for now. And realistically, I've got a ton of bone meal, so I may change to a farming station, honestly. But this is just temporary. Like I said, we'll end up moving it, and I just want to get some potatoes planted. I wasn't intending for this because I thought we could use magma blocks because we have a ton of magma cream, so that didn't quite work out. So then what we'll do is we'll just set up, for right now, we'll set up a ender chest right here, and we'll say yellow, 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 and diamond lock it, and then we'll just have the excess items we're going to have them kind of cycle around. We'll say you can extract, you can insert with a priority of, say, 10, and then you can insert. So potatoes should come back around until this gets filled up, and then, you know, any excess will go into this ender chest. So that'll be great. That's what we want to happen. And then what I want to do is I want to set up just a quick recipe over here. Instead of setting up a sugarcane farm, we have nature essence, and we have a lot of nature essence. So what we're going to do is let's do a recipe here for sugarcane. So we'll say it's just like that. There you go. And we'll throw this into a crafter. And then let me grab a sag mill. We have like 50 million of them already made up. And let's get some sugarcane. And let me run down here. We're going to set this up. So let's change over our exporter. We're going to say that you're going to export sugarcane instead. And we'll go ahead and grab this out. Not too concerned about it, honestly. And I'll switch it with dirt. We'll set up a sag mill just right here. And we'll say that, you know, you can pull out items, send them into the sag mill, say extract, insert, gravel. There we go. Sugarcane's going into that. And we'll just set up an RF transmitter just right here. So it's going to get the sag mill up and going. And you'll notice that whenever you sag mill sugarcane, is it not 100%? Okay, yeah, I'm going to go make a crusher, because the plant clippings are going to be a pain, and then in addition, the crusher produces 3 sugar every operation. So we'll change that over to the crusher then. And they've changed the way that you get black quartz. Now you have to do the iron mesh, or the flint stiffened mesh, with dust. So we're going to see if we can get, that looks like it. Yep, brushed black quartz. Oh, didn't mean to throw that down. Okay. So we'll take this over there. I just need one more piece. I had enough to get the majority of it. But if you recall, I think before it was like coal, I think. So anyway, there's our double crusher. And we'll go ahead and just switch this out. Alright, and so the double crusher, we're going to go ahead and set it to auto split items. So it's going to split this sugarcane up. And then we'll set it back to insert. So the sugarcane will start running through. And so now, and that makes 3 per operation, so we're getting 6 technically per operation because it's running 2 sugarcane at a time. So I think that's going to be better for us than the sag mill. The sag mill, I feel like, was kind of a waste because it was like 1 to 3. And I think it was a 50% chance for the second one and like a 20% chance or something like that for the third one. And so now what we're going to need is vats. And not the ones from Fallout. These are going to take a few things here. We're going to need a bunch of electrical steel, which of course you can make it with coal powder, silicon, and iron. Then we're going to need a bunch of, or a few machine chassis. I think right now we're just going to start with like 2 vats. Should be fine. So we'll go ahead and get a bunch more of these iron bars. We need electrical essence, electrical steel essence. Why did my fluid tanks not come into this? I made extras. There we go. Okay, so anyways, now we've got our 2 vats, and so we'll go set these up. I promise I'm going to set up travel anchors between like the front and back of the ship, because it's so long, and then we're going to have all those different decks and stuff. I am planning on putting like a staircase in the, you know, in the like center-ish, or maybe double staircases, one on each end for the decks. But we're also going to have travel anchors just for convenience sake. So anyways, we'll set up our vat right here, and we'll say, let's go ahead and tell this to auto, whoops, breaking everything here. Okay, we're going to tell this to auto output, and why are you not, there we go. Now it's getting water from this tank, and so then what I want to do is I want to pump this sugar from here into here. And then we're going to set up our ender chest on the other side. And keep in mind this is all just temporary layout. We'll say yellow, yellow, yellow. And let me go grab a diamond. And then we'll go ahead and diamond lock this. So looks like right now we don't have any potatoes. We'll fix that real quick. And we're going to say that you're going to extract, you're going to insert, and let me go. Let me go bone meal a bunch of those potatoes so that we just have a ton of them. Or we might set up a growth crystal, which would really help. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do just a growth crystal tier 2. And, because, I mean, now that we have, the hardest thing, I guess, was the prismarine. Even that really wasn't bad because you can use actually additions to easily create prismarine. But now, I mean, we've got prismarine, crystal, and shard chickens. So, that's not really an issue. I'll go ahead and set this up. And now the growth crystal's really kicking in, so I don't think we need this bone meal anymore. The growth crystal is really rolling through now. So we'll go ahead. I've got all these extra potatoes here. And we'll go ahead and just throw some of these in here. The poisonous potatoes too, because we'll be able to use those. Poisonous potatoes are actually better. I didn't look if there was a way to create poison potatoes. I know there's not a way to create... No. Okay. So anyway, we've got some potatoes in there, so we'll go ahead and pop on over. After a little while, it's not going to matter. Now, I will say that long-term, like I said, power infrastructure is our next major step, I think. We just kind of want to get flight before we start running a bunch of cabling, because running cabling under the floor is a pain. That's why I've got this here, and the cables ran along there without flight, you know, in Sky Factory. So that's what we're kind of waiting on. But anyways, you'll notice that this is now taking in the poisonous potatoes and the sugar and creating hooch with the water, which is what we want. So then what we're going to do next is we're going to set up an additional vat right here. We're going to go ahead and say, you pull the fluid and put it into here. So this is filling up with hooch. This is getting a little bit of power. We will have to sort the power. That's okay. That's not going to take that long. And we'll go ahead and set up an exporter here. And we're going to say that it can export blaze powder and redstone. And then we're going to just plug this up with some cabling. Once I figure out how we're going to lay this room out, I'll change all this, make it look a little bit better. But I just kind of want to get this fire water passively producing, while we're offline and everything, so we have a decent stockpile of it. So now it's going to start taking that blaze powder, that redstone, and that hooch, and it's going to start combining them together to create our fire water. And then we'll just put down a drum here, extract fluid, and there we go. So now we're producing fire water, which is what we want. I think this is probably our best option in this pack for the power system that we're going to be using, which is a mod called Advanced Generators. I've played around with it in all the mods, using mechanism fluid with it. Absolutely wonderful. And I think it would go perfect with this base. Especially once we get into steam. I would love to be using a lot of steam power with this, because it really fits the theme. But for right now, we're going to be using fire water. I think fire water, rocket fuel, steam, that kind of stuff would really go good with this build. So, anyway, we're going to let that fire water build up. And I will say that probably by the episode after next, when we actually get into using it, because like I said, next episode, we should be killing the Wither tonight. So I do apologize on that. But probably by the time we do that, I'll probably get this moved and get all this sorted. I've got to talk to him and see what we want to do with all these chickens. Because now, we'd have to bring the room back. But I kind of like the layout for the chickens. So, and really this floor is just going to be refined storage, chickens, power. Like that. So, and it's not going to be just one room, one power room for the base. It's going to be power rooms on the back end of the ship for multiple floors. So I think that would be good. So anyways, I'll probably end up changing the layout and everything a bit and adding more vats. Originally I saw that fire water could be created with the magma block, and I was like, oh, that'd be perfect. Well, it doesn't work, so funny story. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and like I said, we'll get more into that episode after next. Advanced Generators is an awesome mod, by the way, if you haven't played with it. The fact that we have a ton of manualing is going to make it so easy to jump right into that. So, and I will say that we're going to get into extreme reactors before too long as well, because I'd like to get, I like to start using some of this yellorium and plutonium, or plutonium and all that stuff. So, we'll probably get into that and use that to produce steam for Advanced Generators as well. So, I think that would be awesome. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button. And go ahead and subscribe if you're not already for more daily videos. And next episode, we should be killing the Wither. So, sorry about that. And I hope you guys join me for that. And until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you guys next time.